guitar. All right.
All right.
Hello, guys. Welcome
How
to
are
another Beat Speak.
My brother.
With my brother Nuno Ramos this time. Long time friend.
Long
time friend.
More than a decade friendship.
Yeah, more than a decade friendship, yeah. So yeah, guys, I'm doing this podcast for, talking about music and not just music, friendship, like close friends. And this time I invited Nuno because Nuno was always like a big supporter from my music and a big friend. And for you guys just to know, Nuno is like an outstanding modular producer, and I wanted to invite someone like more in touch to analog music, not just techno. And so yeah, welcome, brother.
Thank you
Thank you.
for inviting me for this podcast, which I
Yeah.
find special.
Amazing.
And about the modular, it's true. I've been touched by the addiction of non-stop buying modular because
Totally.
it's like the most addictive thing that I maybe got into my life, But it's a good addiction, and,
Of course.
and it sounds
Better than
amazing.
drugs.
And it sounds amazing
I
out
know.
of the blue. So
Yeah.
it's like super special to do this kind of outside of your box music. It's like the best thing that you can have, Like, but to get there, you get to a huge learning curve.
How long took you to like feel comfortable with the modular? Like I know because I know
Maybe
you
1 year.
1 year?
To feel comfortable.
Comfortable
to
with
have pleasure with it, but
Yeah.
to be mastering it, maybe 2-3 years. A huge system like
Of
mine.
course, yeah.
Yeah, it takes about 2-3 years.
2-3 years, yeah, to get everything together.
To understand, and on those 2-3 years you were always expanding the
Amazing, I know.
modular, because at some point you get master some kind of area, and you say, okay, maybe I should buy another 1 or 2 modules,
Of
because
course.
now I know this, and if I have this, and
It's
like
a black hole.
Yeah,
It's a black hole. That's a black hole. Amazing,
It's a real
man.
black hole.
So yeah, but you're doing mostly house music.
Yes,
Yeah,
house
mostly
music,
house
which
music.
is more tricky to do with the modular.
Okay.
Because when you have a big system and imagine you do a patch on the night before, and at some point you do this kind of, how can I say, you go to sleep, you turn off the modular, and when you put the modular back on the
gonna sound
morning,
different.
there's a
Sounds-
new track there, and you didn't do nothing. And usually the track was techno.
Amazing.
not house,
Yeah,
the
of course.
progressions were
So imagine
more,
you do something, you're gonna sleep, and the next morning it's gonna be like a Jeff Mills
it's this
track.
kind of a ChatGPT modular,
ChatGPT
does a
module.
track for you.
Yeah,
So I was like, okay, this is like, I have to maybe do some kind of more melodic oriented stuff with it, so it
Yeah.
makes it a little bit more interesting and difficult. And at some point, I'm finishing this process now, and I will want to go back to techno, because I was into techno
I
till
know,
2016, and then I stopped for a big time, and I started to buy the modular.
You started buying the modular 2016,
Yeah,
right? Yeah, I remember
2016.
that. Yeah.
It was somehow the same time,
It was right when you quit your job, and
I quit
right
my
when you quit job,
and I started to build the modular. Then after the modular, I decided to go a little bit more house-ish, because it was what my head was turning me into. And now I'm feeling I can come back to techno as a more experimental
can.
because it's important to be experimental, in my opinion, and
I
do
think so,
some kind of
and
different
variety, of course. Yeah.
something
that's-
that sounds different but also sounds good. Is difficult nowadays to impress someone.
Of course, but
As music
you're
wise.
just turning to techno when you finally master it, the house music at the modular, because that's what that was your the point you wanted to reach, like the
Exactly.
maximum level, right?
Exactly.
Now you can
do
the fuck you
explore
want.
in different levels, and somehow when I started to buy the modular, I was always thinking in the complex way about it. And now I'm much more less complex about it. I'm more pragmatic with what I have. Sometimes I only use 3 or 4 modules, or 80 modules that I have on my system,
Christ.
and I only use like 3 or 4. And
Yeah.
before I wanted to use everything, so I could learn the interactions between the modules and all that stuff. But nowadays I just be pragmatic and say, okay, I just need this and this and this, and I do a track with them, and I don't fuck up anymore like before, you know.
Yeah, of course.
Because somehow then you lose it. You go to experimental territories with your music. It's good, but people sometimes it's so experimental that people maybe don't understand. And
Totally understand.
man, you have to have this kind of ratio, and it's important.
Of course. Man, that's pretty fucked up, I know, because I've always been producing with my computer.
Man,
And
your computer is a modular.
Of course. It is.
You already have
Totally.
the VCV.
I have the VCV.
You use
yeah.
VCV?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, I do have. Yeah, I'm really enjoying it.
And also SoftTube as some
SoftTube,
kind of good
yeah.
modular approach.
Yeah, but man, mostly what I've been using now, because a really good friend of mine is the one in charge of Arturia in Portugal.
Mm-hmm.
Gustavo, 1,000
Yes,
details.
yes.
So Gustavo.
I didn't know he was responsible for
He was because he works for a big company called Zental Media, and he sells like gear, every kind of piece of gear that you need for the studio, and analog or digital.
Mm-hmm.
And he's the one in charge to bring Arturia to Portugal, and he's just like called me like, man, you want the plugins, the effects and the scenes. Of course, like so yeah. Just do
Of course.
just put a video on
Sounds really good.
Oh man, it's amazing. Like really, I'm more than I'm beyond happy with this. Like I was using a lot the Roland Cloud. Man, I put everything on the side, and I'm just using Roland
I think
now.
for techno, techno is more honest. I think, in my opinion, it's the more honest electronic music style.
it is.
You know, because
It is.
if it's good, you dance. If it's not good, you don't dance.
But
You
of
interpret.
course, depending the style, of course. But like my style is just like it's a kick, like
Man, it has to groove,
heavy ass
and it
drums,
has-
nice
people will
groove, and then
dance.
and the nice synthesis, you know, like heavy bass line. That's it, and rhythms, and it's mostly
Exactly.
rhythm. Rhythm is king.
This kind of synths in techno, man, you don't need the analog character of the synth,
course.
because you're going to put some kind of effects and wet it out
Of
with
course.
the effects. So you're going to lose this character
Of
anyway,
course.
you know. And
Yeah.
but for this kind of old school house. Like now with the new influences that are like
course.
trendy,
Very trippy,
psychedelic,
trippy,
like
of
this kind
course,
of
of
psychedelic
course.
sounds on top, you should have this kind of like original characteristic of the sound. I think
Yeah.
it's important.
I
That's in some
agree.
point.
I agree. Totally agree with you. Yeah.
And man, for this, the analog sources are
It's
but
different.
the new plugins are amazing, man.
I know.
It's the first time in my life that I'm, this.
Of course,
I
I
never
know.
respected
you
nothing,
don't have a fucking-
plugins,
yeah.
nothing. But now there's new plugins on the market, really
But
special.
but you still use plugins.
Yes,
of
yes,
course,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Because
Like
you're the main
EQs,
the main cake of
compressions.
the main cake of the production is the modular, but then you record everything to Ableton, right? You
yes.
still have the same process,
And
right?
then all the corrective plugins that I always
Amazing.
used, but I'm speaking about synthesizers. I never
Okay,
used.
yeah.
I always run away from using synthesizers
Yeah,
as
yeah.
VSTs or.
No, VSTs is only
But even that-
only
even
like
that-
FX, mostly FX or sound treatment VSTs.
Yeah,
you know,
like corrective, like
corrective, yeah.
compression, EQ, this kind of stuff, reverbs.
Yeah.
But now you have like emulations from Access Virus, exactly
I know,
as
I
the
know.
same. Really
Man,
good
I saw
sounding one.
something.
I had a virus
yeah.
for 10
Ah, yeah,
years
yeah,
of my
yeah.
life, so I know this
It's a
virus
very
sound
sweet.
inside out. The new plugin, that's the SP
Yeah.
56300. That plugin sounds 99% of what
And-
the analog virus sounds. So it's really good to have it on the
Amazing.
computer without the timing problems, without the. It's already there, you know. So
I saw something like online that you can order to use online, like compressors from several studios. Like I'm talking about like 10k euros compressors that you can. There's a website. I don't remember the website, but you can actually rent digitally to master your music for several minutes. You know, like imagine like 30 minutes to use it to
Crazy.
add compressions that you pay a subscription that costs you like 200 a month, but you can use all the fucking man like Prism Sound Orpheus like you have, you know, like something like this. It's not affordable.
it gives you
sound
this
cards.
kind of a print.
You can use the websites and pick the compressor you want and pay it, and it's gonna sound just like. Like you don't need to buy it. You don't need to buy it. You rent it.
Yeah.
For several minutes, and you
Makes
record.
sense.
You have 30 minutes to record your music. Record it, coming out, put it out. I think I'm gonna try it. I don't know.
Yeah, man.
It's fucking
Because
amazing.
it's
I don't remember the
somehow-
website. If someone remembers it, please send me a message because I don't remember the
There's
website.
so many AI and this
Yeah,
kind of stuff,
of course.
websites where you can improve your
Of
mixes
course.
and then even take some info to do something
Yeah,
else.
of course.
But the most surprising for me at the moment, I'm using more as software, is like the UAD stuff. you know.
UAD, yeah. Of course.
Because I spent like in last year a lot of money on UAD because they have been with these like super cheap packs now.
The Black
plugins
Friday
are
stuff.
man.
Yeah, of course.
I've been taking advantage of this and I spend a lot, but
Amazing.
the plugins are so good, man.
Yeah.
The difference, I always had this kind of,
Which one you can? Anyone you can recommend?
man, imagine the SSL, the G from SSL
Yeah.
that you have from Waves, and you also have the glue compressor from Ableton, which do the same thing, you know. If you open the G comp from Wave, from UAD, give you this kind of a natural click on the
Yeah.
compressor that the others don't.
Okay.
The others somehow take this kind of, make it blend, you know.
Okay,
one
like
on-
he adds character to the
yeah,
music.
yeah. And this gives you clicks, and
Amazing.
there's this kind of analog kind of behavior,
Amazing.
and it was the best one for me. So this, I think it's good to spend money on this kind of, because it gives you a little bit of edge when you're mixing. And besides this, also this DSP 56300, which are the Waldorfs, the access
Okay,
files,
yeah.
which are also free.
Yeah.
They are. This is like that's this kind of legal loophole about the firmwares, but you can download it, and I'm
It's
using.
free?
It's free. You can go to the site DSP 56300.
Okay.
And
DSP 56300.
Yeah, and
Dot
then
com?
download. Yeah, .com.
DSP
Just
.com, .com.
if you write this, there's a lot of talking
Yes,
about it, so
okay.
it will show up for sure. And then you can download this kind of microwave sound plugin, the Access Virus plugin, which sound it's a carbon copy of the original,
Okay.
so you don't have
But it's
to
a
spend.
it's a VST.
It's a VST that sounds the same as the. So
Yeah.
I've been using it a lot, and I have a lot of good synthesizers in the studio. But having the comfort of having the synthesizer already inside of your computer, it's a very good thing.
Wow.
So I've been getting a lot of work done in the computer, inside the computer. Before, like 2 years ago, I barely touched the computer. The computer was a designated recorder, just about that, and I was just jamming with the modular and recording some of the jams that are known.
Okay.
But now I'm working on the computer. I have to finish music.
You have to finish music.
Yeah, I have the label with
I know. And
Francisco.
I wanted to ask. Yeah. What's the plan?
Yeah, the plan now is I have the first release on this label with a friend of mine, Zaprat, Francisco Silva.
Okay.
And we are doing the vinyl only label for the first 2 years of existence. The first 4 releases are already scheduled, and I've been working on the first one now for a long time, and I think I'm almost ready to release the first one, and then it will come naturally one after the other.
Amazing.
So I'm working.
What's the name of the label?
Bigode.
Bigode.
Yeah, like a Portuguese saying.
Love it. I love it.
It started as a joke
love
and then
it.
it sticked. And, it's like Portuguese.
love
You know that Portuguese say that a good track is a
Of
good
course.
bigode.
We always say that like it's like a
Bigode.
yeah, it's like for like people that they're not Portuguese. Like bigode means mustache, and when a track is really good, it's ganda bigode.
Yeah,
it's
a
a really
bomb-
good
bomb
mustache.
track is a
bomb, bomb track, it's a bigode. So for you
it's
guys to
bigode,
know the
bigode.
slang. Love it.
And
Love it.
Francisco and me have this kind of like this kind of dark humor thing
love it. I
always
love it.
going around. So
I love
we
it.
are always having this kind of laughs and.
I love these kind of ideas, not like don't be not so serious for like
Yeah.
music should be serious, but I think the idea is I'm like the level I'm starting with crowd, it's called caricia.
Yeah, exactly.
You see, like caricia, like it's a caress, like caricia means caress.
Caricia
like,
my bigode.
yeah, imagine, imagine. So like it's like just a warm hug, like like
And
something
also,
that you
also
put-
bringing this kind of traditional Portuguese words is good for us, because now our culture is a little bit more under the radar. We're speaking about electronic music. You are the perfect example of this, and so this we are not you know that I'm older than you, and there was always this kind of a shame about using the traditional Portuguese name.
Man,
Like 15 years
it's
ago
so
was
boring,
almost
man.
a taboo.
No.
Everyone was like, imagine there
super
was this guy.
serious, super
I remember
serious.
a guy from the Madeira or Açores. He was like Miguel Reis, and his DJ name was Michael Kings.
Michael Kings.
Yeah, it was like stupid. You know,
Yeah,
there
yeah.
was like Pedro Cels was Peter Sky.
Peter
Man, and was so stupid. Like 2005. 2006.
Imagine like Luis Leite, Louis Milk.
Louis Milk. So now we can finally give our Portuguese names to the
No,
thing.
that's cool. That's cool, actually. Like I think we should never deny our roots, especially the language. I know it's Portuguese is sometimes very fucked up for the phonetics, but you sometimes it like imagine like words with a till or with the circumflex accent. Sometimes it's difficult for the people to
Yeah.
But like words like bigode or caricia, it's every like in French like caricia or Spanish it's like
Caricia.
caricia. But
Caricia.
everyone's gonna spell it right, you know. Everyone's gonna say it. Is gonna say it on the right in the right way. You have all this to think about it. Like
Bigode is a easy word.
bigode. It's like
It's like bigode.
worldwide easy to say, you know.
I'm sure there will be people say that we want to be gods,
Bigode.
but we don't want to be gods.
No,
we
we
just
got-
have the mustache.
Just the mustache. Amazing.
Neither of us has
Amazing.
mustache, neither. So
Amazing.
it's just about the word being connected to a good track, you know. So
Amazing.
this was sticking.
No,
I
that's
was
very
at some
cool.
point I was doubtful of this, but Francisco said, "No, man, I want this. This is
This is very cool. But
So
you
it's Bigode.
what's the you're doing records like
Yeah,
all,
it's-
records only, right? You
All
told
the
me.
records only in the beginning.
Vinyl only.
Yeah, vinyl only, and in the beginning, at least the first 2 years, and we're going to try to include good Portuguese artists that are on this kind.
And
of
not just for yourself, like other
yeah.
artists too.
It
Okay.
started to be for me and him, like Bigode Crew and Nuno Ramos, but I think in the future it will be for more than us, you know.
Amazing.
And I'm already working with friends of ours. We don't work much together because it's different styles, but I'm working with other people from Lisbon, you know, like
Amazing.
there are the other DJs, like Francisco is not a producer, but he will stay with me in the studio and do some tracks
course.
with me, and then the tracks are ours, you know.
Of course.
And
But
there's
you're
other-
releasing as Nuno Ramos and Bigode
Bigode Crew, yeah,
Bigode Crew.
with
Nice.
Francisco. The second EP will be
Yeah, nice,
like
nice.
this.
Bigode
It's
Crew.
not yet finished, but
course, no, that's
it's
very
getting there. And after that, we were going to start signing maybe other interesting artists that are in Lisbon. We are not focused only on Portuguese artists, so it's everyone. you
Everyone
know.
like good taste.
Yeah,
That's it.
Yeah, good
amazing.
things that are good bigods.
Amazing. That's amazing. You want to show us a track?
Yeah,
Let's
can
do.
show.
Okay. Please, if you want, be
Let me
amazing.
see.
Please just give it a spin. I will
Wait.
take the intro out. We're gonna listen one of the tracks from Nuno coming out in the label, in the Bigode label. And-
Is it playing? Yeah.
All right, let's have a listen. Right, guys? Speak in a second. Capa fora. Isso, essa rotação. Não passei aqui. Não vai usar nada. Mas não tá assim som. Não, por favor, não tá. Vou filmar só com ele. Então lá está assim som. Não tá.
He's in an alien world.
Não tá. Deixa eu chamar outra vez. Espera aí. Just...
Technical problems.
Este não estou a conseguir por este lado.
Estávamos a jogar.
And yeah, so this is the first release of the label.
Yeah.
All right.
This is the first release of the Big Odd Records,
Okay.
Big Odd Recordings. I'm sorry, it's this vibe with a little bit proggy approach, which is now people are somehow liking this on my circles of friends, you know. So I was never this kind of a real artist till some time ago. I was this kind of a studio rat.
You've been always, yeah, you're a studio rat. You're an artist, but you're a studio rat. I know. Always in the shade. Always on the shade.
Yeah, more low key is impossible.
No, but that's good, man. I think you should put something out because you are an outstanding music producer. So I think you need to put your legacy out. Put your legacy out, man.
Real pleasure to listen to that.
So yeah, man. I think it's really necessary, like especially if you are not talking about like Nuno's not a mediocre artist. He's a fucking outstanding artist. But the track we just listened, so you can have the perception of his knowledge, and because it's not just like 2-3 years. It's how many years you've been doing music?
Like since '99.
Since '99. So yeah.
Yeah, always as a side project, you know, like this kind of having some machines in the house and make some beats to have fun.
Of course.
I think for me it was never important to show. It was always important to have fun with myself. It's like this kind of a personal hobby, like you buy a jet ski and go to Fontatella on the winter. You have some machines and you do some beats.
Amazing. No, of course, that's really cool.
And,
really, brother. I'm beyond happy for you finally putting music out. Really, I think it's time.
Yeah,
really the time. And
I was sick, so you know that, and it was a promise that I made to myself that I had to release some kind of stuff, because at some point I thought, okay, this is not good, my sickness at that time, and at some point you put your life in stake, you know. It's like saying, okay, maybe I can die from this. And
life-changing
when
experience.
I was with this doubts in my mind,
life-changing experience
in my mind, I was thinking to myself, like, man, if this really comes hard and I go away with this fucking disease, I will not. I didn't put any kind of track in my life that I had pleasure to put out as an artist, you know. So when I recovered, I did this kind of promise to myself that I would work harder and try to have this kind of output view as an artist that I never had. You know, I always try to help others, like I tried with you, with my knowledge from the studios and stuff like that. But I never had this kind of personal output as an artist to myself, you know, which is tricky to have, you know.
Of course, I know.
And I was never good at this, so now I'm trying to do this as best as I can, and this is my first try with Big Odd, and I think it's going well. People are reacting good to the tracks.
You never release the track, right?
I release the track, but like this kind of shitty music, man, most of the time.
Many years ago.
This kind of being pressed to do something that I didn't want, and I was okay, it's here.
I understand.
But now it's a matter of honor and pleasure. So I think
it's your own imprint. So it's you don't have pressure just for yourself. You know.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's like a challenge with yourself.
It's towards myself now. Exactly. I want to leave something with the best quality that I can. You know, and before was exactly the opposite. I could do something really bad just to shock people, and that it's kind of don't give a fuck mentality, which I don't have anymore. I'm not a kid anymore. So when I was a kid, I was a little bit punk, and I like to do this kind of.
You're still a punk.
Yeah, I'm still a punk. You're always a punk.
Yeah. You're still a punk. I know that.
At least in the attitude.
About the label. So you're doing the pressing gear. Who are you doing the pressing with?
I'm pressing with Jorge Caiado and Carpet Distribution.
Okay, cool.
Also, Jorge is doing the mastering at the first EP. He worked on the friend on Cruz EP, also for Bloop Recordings. And I've been a little bit close to Cruz. So I really like the work that he did on the last two EPs.
But George is doing the mastering.
He's
on. Okay, cool.
Yeah, for Bloop
Amazing.
The last two EPs
sounded great, man. Sounded really good.
Great, like Michael Melchon
I have the record. I have the record. It sounds really good.
I was like listening, and I said, man, and listen to the tracks from Cruz in the sound system, the DB from Lisbon when Cruz was playing. I was in the middle then I said, okay, I decided, yeah, it's going
Amazing.
to be this. And also love George as a person.
George is
George,
great. Nice guy.
George,
Shout out to George.
Yeah, shout out to George. He's having now a good. I see George with a lot of work, and I think he deserved this a long time ago.
Amazing.
You know.
Yeah, man, nice. I'm happy.
Yeah,
Happy
it's
to-
it's a good one of the best persons in the scene in Lisbon for me. I think
Totally.
it's like always available, at least for me, you know. And he's a very talented person
He
in
is.
every side, you know, like
is.
a multifaceted.
He's a music entrepreneur.
Yeah,
He's a music entrepreneur. Yeah. Like he runs. He has a really good. For me, the best record shop in town. Like Carpet and Snares. Period. Like if you dig house and techno, that's the best. Period.
Yeah, yeah,
For like new records and secondhand, you can
and
find
also,
like the best.
also the
And
at least I'm
distribution.
I'm
we
seeing
work. We
the
work with
distribution
him.
with Cruz is
Yeah,
with Cruz Records is
yeah.
going really well, which
Amazing.
I hope it goes at least
Yeah.
as close as that with my
I was
first
I was
release.
working with George for the Bandcamp just for the Bandcamp, the sales that we're doing with Heist Collective, but we changed it for Triple Vision, but because we have like we're doing the pressing with them. Imagine like shipping the records from Portugal,
yeah.
and then we found it easier.
streamline
but,
operation.
So yeah, but these for me far the best record shop in Portugal.
Yeah,
Portugal,
yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And man, all the people there are amazing.
Ah, man, Miguel
Roy,
is great.
he's not there anymore,
yeah,
but
Roy
he's,
is not. Roy is a great guy.
also shout out to Roy and,
Roy.
Dream
Lovely guy.
Ticket also,
Dream
which
Ticket,
is an
Dream
amazing
Ticket.
label. He's
You guys,
doing
you
a
have
great work.
it's a label here from Lisbon, from a guy called Roy, ROI, Roy, and it's mostly electro,
Yeah,
but
it's
like
kind of old school electro.
it's called Dreamy, and the label's called Dream Ticket, final only label.
Yeah, it has
Fucking
amazing
fabulous,
releases
fabulous.
and
And I have
doing,
several records. I have several records from him.
really good, and it's like, man, he's doing really well. I think
Solid,
on the releases,
solid
yeah.
stuff. Solid
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah,
Yeah, very playable.
So, man, being involved with them,
course.
with this kind of people, for me,
It's like
an honor
a
and
it's
a
like
pleasure.
a club supermarket.
It's true.
A club
It's true. At some
supermarket.
point, it's like the Mercadona.
Mercadona,
Club
like a techno and house Mercadona. Beautiful.
Let's go to the section.
Yeah, imagine. Yeah, no, really nice. Yeah, and it's actually cool because they found like they did like a nice community there with Carpet. And yeah, it's I like to go there. I feel comfortable, really comfortable.
Yeah, exactly. There are people that you can sense this, man. Nowadays, you have two kinds of people. There are this kind of more egocentric people that always they are trying to build their careers, my career, my music, my this.
Yeah.
Most of these people are not like that. It's like you and me. They just like music, you know. And people, I think the music should be aggregating
Collectives.
people,
Collectives.
not this kind of like putting someone on top of everyone. It's not for me, man. I
No.
think music is something. Electronic music is something to be
I think
done in groups. You know, it's
in
not
my
to be
opinion-
I'm the one number
No,
one and
totally.
the others are just singing.
I think
Doesn't
the
make
scene
sense.
ruins itself when people start to compete with each other. Competition, it's not the solution for electronic music, especially for these electronic, not electronic music. I'm talking about like house and techno, this small niche. We should help each other. Like I remember, when I started Haze, 2017. It was very difficult, like for us to break through, play here in Portugal, and I know this. I can speak with all my teeth in my mouth, like saying like, as soon as we started and get it all together, things were way easier, you know, because people say like it's not a guy, it's not one guy, it's a family.
In my opinion,
you know?
Ace people did the perfect combo of how should it be done to have this kind. But you have to be honest on this. If you see someone else doing it like you did, like with positive results between you, Temudo, Cravo, before even Vasco and Norbach, you know, and I was a little bit a close friend at that time, you know, and Elias also from
Elias, of
Berlin,
course,
and but at some point I see maybe there's people that say, okay, now they are super successful and you are, you know, like in Portugal. I don't think there was a group so successful international as your group
That's
till
true.
now.
I know that. I know
And
that.
this
know
has
that.
to be said. And
It's
what's
not about being
the
humble.
secret-
It's the truth. It's
humbleness.
the truth. It's the truth.
Humbleness
Yeah,
and
it's the truth.
real friendship brings you to other levels. man.
Totally.
And people are, in Portugal, they have to start understanding this as soon as possible because
Gather your friends. Gather your fucking
competition,
friends. Yeah,
competition
totally. It's
doesn't
the
work.
worst.
You know, competition is not about music. Competition is about selling something. You know,
Of course.
And people want to
It's
sell
like
music.
it's business oriented, like or if you like working, I don't know, like big enterprises, companies. That's competition,
This-
of
this
course.
commercial
or
music
if you have a
also-
supermarket, you want to sell stuff, you know, like you
this
want.
stupid commercial
But
vibe
this is not like-
that's all around now,
Yeah.
which I hate. But also it can be sold like with a more commercial approach, paying sponsored posts on this and that, and buying fake followers and all that stuff. It doesn't work, you know.
It doesn't work, man.
It
It's
only
all-
works for
or-
commercial music.
of
For
course, of
underground
course.
music works when people get
Thing-
together and they dance together and they listen honestly to the music together. you know.
Totally.
Because
Like, should
electronic
be
music
organic
it
all the time.
started like this. And if you went to Garage and Hacienda Club and
Every
all
style.
of these
Every
kind
style.
of styles, it started to put all the genders, all the races together, and people dance together and hug together and have fun together. There's no races, there's no genders, there's no nothing. Everyone was there, you know. And
Totally.
and from there on 20 years after that, it was still working, that concept. Then the music started to be so commercial, and the commercial approach in 2007, 2006 started to be a little bit more commercial, and this was starting to get lost.
This was which year you're talking about?
I think between the 90 and
Do not- 2004, 5. Yeah, 5. Yeah.
It was the golden years.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about,
In
yeah.
the golden years, what was the golden years?
When-
golden
when-
years
when-
was people getting
yeah.
together. It
When,
was
when the
not about-
before tech house exploded, like the commercial
Yeah.
tech house, not about tech,
2006.
not talking about techno and house where they gather together, you know, like no, the tech house level from Beatport, you know, the
Beatport started, I think,
Yeah.
more or less in 2006,
6, 7, yeah.
So it was
Yeah.
this, and then I started to. There was this kind of a minimal techno approach at that time, which was good, but it started
It was
to
the
be
sound,
super commercial.
It was the sound of the time, you know.
Yeah,
it
yeah,
was
yeah.
was
It
the sound of
started
that
to be-
period, you know.
It was so popular that it started to be commercial.
Like the orange, the minus stuff,
Minus,
man. That's
In Portugal, I remember huge
God,
parties,
man,
like 5,000 people
My
parties
God.
with
Huge,
Minus,
huge,
with
huge,
Magda,
huge.
Richie,
But
all of these
you have
guys.
but I think it's coming back again, but not in the same way because there's some artists doing that stuff. That's one of my favorites, Fergus Sweetland. I don't know if you know this
Yeah,
guy.
yeah, yeah.
Fergus is doing this minimal influenced, but not like Minus, but kind of brings back this vibe
Yes,
of the
yes.
reduced minimalism.
It's almost 20
love
years
it.
without being
But
explored.
you see, it's like exactly that's the thing, like the old school techno came back to life, gladly, amazing.
And now it has been like 2 years.
2
of
years,
and now
yeah.
they want the 10 years
Hard
after.
groove, now hard groove again. People are, of course, like music is
Even
like
this
it's
kind
a
of
cycle.
vibe
It's a
on
cycle.
on the
So
track that I showed, it was the progressive. If you show the progressive,
progressive.
oriented track
Totally.
like
Very progressive.
7 or 8 years ago to the Portuguese, they will say, "Hey man, I don't like this. It's a
Yeah.
little bit too progressive, cheesy, la la." And now people really want to listen to this.
it's a cycle, man. It's
yeah,
like
it's
like
like-
fashion. It's
exactly.
like in the skinny jeans and baggy jeans.
Exactly.
Then, you
Now
know?
people are elephant pants.
Yeah, exactly.
From
man.
skinny jeans
yeah,
to
you
elephant
see, it's it's like
It's
it's
true, man.
it's true. It's
It's
everything.
our brains.
Everything.
Our brain starts to get sick of the stuff,
Yeah.
art or the stuff that we're listening. When you're like a consumer of art, or you're always looking at it,
Totally.
and so or listening listening.
I totally agree.
And when you listen too much of something, or you look at so much at something, you start to get a little bit sick of it. That after 1-2 years, so your brain then you wants to go something else.
I think like or you just get stuck like Stefan Bodzin because it's gonna be this
that's
same
but
thing.
that's commercial.
That's commercial, of course, but like in myself, like I found it like because I'm more on the like tribal house music, like very old school, and but it's like it's the same thing of the pants, the compensation of the pants. Now I'm on like not wearing skinny jeans, Yeah, that's the same thing. I want to make some house music now, but that goes with the vibe from the moment. I'm not gonna do this because I need to do that now. I feel comfortable to do this right now. That's what I do, you know.
Exactly.
Like that.
And also, most of the times we're listening. People now listen to a psychedelic sound on a track and they say, this is trance now.
It's not trance.
It's a acid techno track with psy elements.
Psychedelic elements. Yeah.
That's what people are playing, not trance. And people are playing trance now. Trance is so much better.
It's beyond that.
It's not even close to what people are playing. You know, like
not a chance. No, not even close, man. Not even
I was
close.
in Waking Life 2 years ago, and now I listened to a set from Vlada, that Russian DJ, and she was playing like four hours. Like after Louisa also, Louisa played before, really nice set also from Louisa, which is growing a lot as a DJ. And at some point, I listened to the set of Vlad and I decided, man, this is really good, because I listened to a lot of trance things that I listened in the 90s when I was going to the early booms and stuff like that. But this is only some sounds. I like the bass. The bass is not this kind of. I hate trance. I don't like. I don't like the only style of music that I can't bear.
I can't. Sorry, people. I just can't. I can't deal with it. Really.
But I like some sounds. I like this. Kind
I like
of
the what I like from trance.
It's
the high frequency elements. Or
the tension,
you know, the trippy part of the track, because I think the low end and the kick sounds very plastic, you know, very digital. I don't like it, man. And then I like this warm hugging low end, you know, and trance doesn't have that. Trance is like boom, 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 all this the horse. The horse folk, you know, like horse stepping all the time. And that's not just my thing. Respect trance, but I really respect every kind of music.
I respect trance a lot. Yeah. First of all, because one of the things that I most respect on the parties is seeing people dancing. And in trance,
the crowd is don't fuck with the
you're lucky
trans,
because you're
trans
in
crowds.
But in my crowds, I don't see a lot of dancing, which is concerning. The more and more the house scene is losing
the club scene in general. It's
there's a lot of people there, but they are not
line.
dancing. People are looking at social media, speaking with each other, having something in the bar or something, but. They are there. They give good vibes to the party, but sometimes I miss the dancing vibe, and there's not much of a dancing vibe in the parties anymore. And it's concerning because I'm an old guy, but I still like to dance, man.
You partying since like before '99.
Yeah. Started
so
in '94.
You know that you've been through all the you know you call like the chronological exactly, that's the right way to say, the chronological nightlife from everything.
Man, I passed my first party was DJ Vibe in Coimbra, in Montemor, Castelo de Montemor, I think in '94, and then I was 30
years ago.
30 years ago. Already 30 years ago.
94, I was 5 years old.
And I was going to my first party.
Amazing.
Still with not taking nothing, zero, you know, like super clean. I was somehow a sports guy before, you know, so I just liked the music. I was already listening to electronic music for a long time. At that time, I'm listening electronic music since 89, 87, 89. Jean-Michel Jarre, because of my father, I started with New Age.
Yeah, that's a really good entry art. That's a common and good entry artists.
Yeah. And then my sister also, with my sister, which is older than me, and she was listening to all this kind of electropop artists like Depeche Mode and stuff like that.
Synth pop stuff. Yeah.
And,
I love it.
Erasure, all of this, you know, Gary Newman, all of these guys. I started to have this kind of synthesizer sounds in my mind before I was even going to parties. And at some point, when I went to a party, it was this kind of orgasm, you know. What I know this shit. With no drugs, no nothing. It was just an orgasm for my ears, you know. And then, man, it was the first experience. Then I was maybe months, really, almost a year without going. And then in the end of '95, I started to go out, and it was like bam, 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 all the time, like every weekend. Ecstasy.
No, like
first it was herbal ecstasy.
Yeah.
You had a place in Lisbon called Climax, which was the first after hours where they sold like legally these kind of pills.
It was a black hole now.
It was called herbal ecstasy, the first. So people went there and started to buy boxes of that. Like it was like a medicine from the pharmacy. and we were taking like 5 or 6 because we didn't felt nothing. It was herbal. So man, this doesn't make nothing. Putting like 5 herbal ecstasies at a time. And then I started to go a little bit more underground, and man, as everyone else, I tried the real one, and I got to. When I was a kid, nowadays I barely do shit like that anymore. But when I was a kid, it was really important, and it helps so much the vibe of the party.
I think like ecstasy for me was I'm many years that I'm not taking ecstasy. Like I don't know, but I stopped taking it. Like I just said, like I never had any problem with drugs, gladly, and I found it like they really helped me out to open the spectrum of my brain and absorb the sounds and
it's
to
so
understand.
Important.
Like when I remember like I was like maybe on my 17, 18 that I tried my first ecstasy pill, and I remember like fuck, this doesn't sound the same way. This is like what the fuck, like it's great, like wow, like it kind of opens something in your totally, like it.
It's not anymore because like, now people know a lot more than they knew before. When I took my first illegal ecstasy pill, I knew it was illegal.
Of course.
But I took it like, okay, let's try this. And everyone around me was older than me, and people were saying, man, you have to try this. I was listening to this bombarding in my head for weeks, and then the first time I took it, I was like, whoa, this is amazing. And I was like, I can say a little bit
if you
crazy
into
about it.
In my opinion, if you're into music, it's something that you should try at least once. Definitely. And just put something that you enjoy and just enjoy the moment. Doesn't need to be
a full pill.
No,
it's
no,
like
no, of course no.
Just a little bit.
Course
sometimes just a crumble of a pill, gives you immediately a party mood that it's almost impossible to really get with any other kind of drugs.
When I started buying records, like when I was like 15, 16, you remember the record shop Superfly in Bairro from Chico, and Chico was like a mentor back in the times when I was playing drum and bass and dubstep. And I remember, like, because Chico is, I think he's older than you. I think Chico is already 50, on his 50s.
Yeah.
And Chico remembered, one day Chico told me, like, and we asked him, like, what was your life-changing experience? And he told me, ecstasy. On the 90s, on the rave, 93, 94, in London. And it's that life-changing experience. It changed my life. That's why I have a record shop now.
Exactly. And people say, no, this is mental health.
No.
You changed your mental health. I had this kind of family problems, and sometimes family stays a little bit scared about this kind of stuff when they discover.
If you use it right, if you know,
man,
of course,
and when they see you like over and over, I spent like months, years without taking any kind of drugs.
I know, same.
And my family saw it, and I always try to avoid my family, so I don't want to shock them, so they don't need to know a lot of shit that I did in my life previously. But at some point, they see me there with them, and I don't need drugs to be in my studio for a full year. If I go to a secluded house in Alentejo where I can make music and don't have neighbors, and I can be there a year. Maybe I need some joints, but the rest I don't need
nothing.
Else.
At the studio, fully sober. I was smoking joints before, but I quit smoking.
That's the only thing
I quit smoking while producing 5 years ago, and now I finally quit smoking at all but I have an asthma problem, so that's why I quit smoking at all.
Yeah, and I want to quit before I get the asthma also.
Yeah, I know.
Because I have a family. My sister, she smoked so much.
Yeah.
And in the end, she got this kind of bronchitis that's caused by tabagic bronchitis.
That's what I have. That's what I have.
And I don't want to get that.
I wasn't craving cigarettes, like, because I'm not that kind of person that like finish a meal and I'm gonna smoke a cigarette. I never was. I was never like that. Never. I only smoked while partying, taking a pill or drinking. I was smoking, but I can imagine I'm going out and I finish a fucking full pack of cigarettes in one night, and I was not used to smoke, And so imagine like doing these 4 or 5 years in a row. Of course, I have chronic bronchitis. I can't treat it. So imagine like the breathing in, I have like 100% of function, but putting the air out, spreading the air out, only 80% now. Yeah. So now,
Yeah.
no
You-
smoke.
you
No
shouldn't touch it
smoke.
anymore.
No smoke. No smoke. No smoke.
And you don't need it. I
need
never
it.
saw you. I was with
I
you
never
lots of
tried.
times in the
You never saw
studio.
with the pack.
Yeah.
Like you're
You
smoking
weren't-
your joints,
I'm,
just like
I'm a
two pack.
studio smoker.
I know, but
I
like
need to
studio
be
pack.
in with
Yeah.
the
But you
fucking,
don't smoke. You don't smoke tobacco.
No, I only smoke.
Yeah.
Only smoke joints,
Yeah.
but yeah, in the studio. If I go to spend my vacation, now I go to Brazil and I only beach, and I'm not going to listen to any kind of studio, not
Yeah.
partying, no nothing.
Yeah.
I don't smoke.
No.
I don't need. I don't have any kind of addiction. My
Amazing.
addiction to smoke joints is when I'm producing and to be this kind of
That's
in
not
my.
so. That's not so bad. That's
It's
not
this
so
kind
bad.
of glasses, like colored glasses that you put in your eyes. So a little, I see a
You're
little
like,
bit of
like
color.
before you colorblind, and then you smoke, and then everything comes to normal.
Yeah, and people say, bro, this is not red, this is blue, man.
Amazing. All right, so we have just like 4 minutes until the end of the show. No, you want to play something else,
yeah,
please?
let me-
Let's go. And
another
yeah,
one.
we're gonna put the last track of the show. And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoy it. I think it was a really nice chat with Nuno. We could stay like three or 4 more hours talking. Things here like with you just come naturally. And yeah, and after we going to the studio actually. So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
gonna be good. It's
gonna
gonna
be
be very good. All right, so this is another track from Nuno.
Also from the
Yeah.
first EP.
And yeah, guys, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you so much for listening to us. And
Thank you for having me.
thank you, brother. Just a quick announcement: the Beat Speak show is gonna it's a monthly show, and it's gonna be the last Wednesday of every month. All right, at 5 p.m. Guys, see you next month. Thank you so much.
journeys.